kind of a deep rant right here because I'm talking about exactly how to start getting better with women starting today. And here's the thing: before we even get into that, I know. I was watching a show the other day. It's like a hip hop type of show. It's called State of the Culture. Maybe you heard of it, maybe you haven't. But at some point on the show, Remy Ma, who's from the Bronx, BX up, she at some point she basically says how men, when it comes to our lives, how we tend to make a big change starting at one day at a time. Like how women tend to phase into a change, like phase into a certain type of change, but men, we will literally like wake up one day and be like, today's the day I'm gonna change my life forever. And that shit made me laugh because I feel like there's a lot of truth to that shit. Like men, as logical as we are, that's what the fuck happens. We get hit one day like a fucking brick. Maybe one day we're 30, maybe one day we hit 40. Hell, maybe one day that day might be 25 for you or 15. It doesn't even matter. You might just hit that day where you're like, look in the mirror and you're like, I don't like where this shit is going. I don't like the way I look. Maybe I don't like the way I dress. I don't like the way I socialize with people. I don't like the position I'm in my life right now, how I'm not chasing my dream or whatever the case, how I'm dicking around, wasting time. This is ultimately what it comes down to when it comes to getting that first step, that first moment where you're like, okay, I'm going to start to get good with women. I'm going to make this shit a goal, and I'm going to make this shit something that I fucking conquer and I tackle head the fuck on, period. When I was younger, when I hit that epiphany where I was like, man, I need... It all hit me one day. It just as dramatically as like that. One day I look in the mirror and I was chubby. It was literally raining outside. That was a great cat. It was raining, so I was soaking wet. When I got upstairs, I took my shirt off and I looked in the mirror and I just see this chubby body looking at me. I see my long hair and I see my pudgy round face, and I'm just like, man, like this is not how I wanted things to be going right now. And from that moment, it hit me like, okay, we're gonna go on a diet. We're going to take up sports. We're going to start trying to socialize more, and we're going to start trying to talk to bad bitches, period. And I did that shit all at once. Now, here's the thing, though. I was lucky, though, because I was in school at the time, so it gave me the opportunity to kind of test the waters. So while I'm here on my diet, losing weight, playing sports, trying to slowly socialize more, maybe push it, whether it be online, in real life, both of them. At certain points, though, it is a little tough because I was lucky enough to at least have women around me in school that I could test. I could test the waters. I could, throw a little comment here and there. You might be in a situation where you're no longer in school, or maybe you are in school, or maybe you're not in school. Maybe you're just at work. You might have to push work situations a little more. I'm not saying to hit on bad bitches, but you might have to push social situations more. You might have to be in a situation where instead of you testing things at school or work, you might have to do it with a girl on the street, or you might have to go to a social event that you like, or a party, or whatever the case is. You might have to put yourself more out there. But I'm telling you, bro, you can absolutely 100% do it. If I could do this shit, baby face and all, like if I could do this shit, random Asian kid in the Bronx in New York, I stuck out like a fucking sore thumb. So many times in my life I've been demeaned. I've had people like try to fucking devalue me, try to emasculate me, try to play me, and throughout it all, I still grab big booty hoes, butt cheeks every day if I can. And the point is that you can too. It just comes down to that point where you look in the mirror and you're like, okay, I'm going to do this. Because the truth of the matter is, if you don't have that point, there's a good chance you're not going to take it seriously enough. If you're just like, oh, okay, this sounds kind of cool, maybe I'll just try a little bit. What happens is a lot of times with guys who they kind of dibble-dabble, they'll take a little bit, maybe they'll take a cute couple lines here, maybe it's enough to get a chick at work who already is kind of cool to start liking them, and as soon as they get that girlfriend, they abandon everything, or they just don't take that change as seriously. So when shit really comes to push to shove, they're back in the same exact spot. I don't want that to be you, and ultimately I don't want you to half-ass push yourself off the ground, dude. Put yourself out there, make it ask yourself, if you want permission, I'm giving permission. Get slapped in public, fuck it. Doesn't fucking matter. There's a 99% chance that shit's just gonna end up being a hilarious, epic story later on in the future. Hell, in fact, in the future, you're gonna have more regrets if you don't have those funny rejections, if you don't have those funny stories, because only way you're not gonna have those type of crazy stories if you're not trying. And I'm telling you, there's nothing worse than being on, I wouldn't know because I haven't been on my deathbed, but I imagine that when I am on my deathbed, the last thing I want to think of is all the things that I could have done, but I didn't because I was there hesitating. You don't want to be that person, man. I don't want to be that person either. So with that being said, pimp, see you on the other side.